Do you suck at Warzone? Because I suck at Warzone. And yet, here, as you can tell by my Warzone wins mastery card, I am currently sitting at 48 Warzone wins. And again, I am terrible at this game. There really aren't any Warzone stats in the game that I can see so far, but I will show you my multiplayer stats here just to give you an idea of where I'm at. I'm not great. 9.8 KD or 0.98 KD. Ha! It's terrible. I'm not good at this game at all. I lose most of my matches. Definitely not great. And yet I'm pulling Warzone wins pretty consistently. And I have yet to see anybody talk about this strategy online to any degree, so I figured I would share it here today. So I'm going to go through this whole match. I will probably fast forward through some parts. I'll keep it all for the most part on screen, but I'll speed through the boring parts because, make no mistake, this strategy can be boring, but it is a pretty consistent, I don't want to say guaranteed win, but it is a pretty consistent win. Most of the time, at the very least, it's a top 10, if not top 2 finish. So I will start here just by saying that you are going to need a heavy chopper. So I always get the one in Al Mazrah there in the city. That's just the one I choose. Honestly, it's probably not even the best one to go for a multitude of reasons. But it's always the one I do, and I like it. I'm a creature of habit. So this is me floating down to get that helicopter, and why I do so, I will try to explain what's going to happen here. So the strategy is to get into the heavy chopper. I should mention, let me start with this actually, by the way. You can do this completely by yourself. You do not need friends to win. You do not need to be good. You do not need to have friends. You can just drop in and win. So I accidentally match made with somebody. I'm doing duos here. I meant to do not squad fill, but he's with me. Frankly, I'm going to ignore him for better or worse. So anyway, you're going to get a heavy chopper. Don't worry about your partner. Just you go get that thing all on your own. If you have friends, they can absolutely join you and make this easier, but it's not bad on your own. Once you have the heavy chopper, you just want to get out of dodge. It's going to be pretty hairy here. A lot of people like to drop here. So just grab it and go. Don't worry about guns. You don't need guns. If you do die here, just quit or start another one. But get this chopper. Usually not too hard, and I just get the heck out of there. Once you do, you do not have to follow this route I'm going to follow. It's just the route I think is best. Depending on where the circle is, you can kind of adjust this strategy, and I often do. But since it's early on right now, this is just the strategy I like to follow. So I hop in the chopper, I fly over to this gas station here, and the goal here is to kind of gas station hop for most of the match, but there's a little bit more to it than that. The key is keeping gas in the chopper, because obviously if you run out of gas, you're going to lose this thing. So I'm going to park it here. You do park it on these 3 circle roof gas stations in a unique way. The way you do it is going to be in such a way that you'll start seeing that refuel meter pop up. You'll see it here any second now as I lower it down. There it is. But you want to land so that ramp isn't covering that AC box on the roof as it just was there, that ramp in the back of the chopper. You need to make sure you can hop up on the AC box. I kind of showed it there a little bit, not great, but you'll see why. It's the only way to get back into the chopper. So now you're jumping out and you're looting this place. Hopefully it's clear. You should have been able to see from the helicopter if it was clear of enemies. So now I'm looting this place. I actually get some really good drops here. But again, I'm going to be honest, guns don't really matter. It's nice to get some good guns so you have some killing power if you need it, but this really is a you never have to fire a shot to win method. So looting the place, getting guns, but the main thing I'm looking for is gas cans. Those red cans that you're probably never picking up, everybody ignores, so you never have to worry about them being looted. Nobody gives a crap about the gas cans. Well, you do now. They are your lifeblood. I like to get minimum 5, or I guess I should say maximum 5. To be honest, you probably don't need that many. 4 will do. I honestly believe you could probably do it in 3, but I'll explain more on that later. Other thing is, make sure to stop by this med pack, both of them, inside and outside. They're always there. There's another gas can. And grab 2 stims, and hopefully you'll get a self-revive out of the deal too. They do spawn in those med packs, but make sure to grab 2 stims. You will see why eventually on that too. jump up and down, get the money from the shelves. I'm wasting more time here than I probably should. You don't need that grenade. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, so I decide it's time to get out of here because the circle is closing and I'm not in it. And there's a really important stop I like to make after this one, which is oh, here's that AC box. So you hop up, hop into the ramp. If that ramp is covering that AC box, you cannot get back in the chopper, and that is game over. So make sure to park very carefully on those roofs. I'll do it another time in this match, so you'll see how that looks. And yeah, we'll go over that. So right now I'm marking that buy station to let the guy know I'll buy him back later, but again, it doesn't matter. I don't even know why I buy him back. But anyway, so now I like to go to this station here, which is just, I guess it's west of that last one. And the reason why is this one is always loaded with gas cans. You can get a minimum 4 here, pretty much guaranteed. So you are done with gas can collecting once you finish here. One is on the roof. You see that one here. There's 2 more down below and 1 inside. Again, more than you even need at this point. I'm still looting just in hopes of getting some good guns and stuff. I do still want a self-revive. It's another item that you're going to want for this, which I can go over in a little bit as well. But I'm looting, take the 3-plate vest, why not? Getting some more cash for the buy station in case I don't get what I need, which I actually think I do. Yeah, there's a self-revive. So there is a buy station here that I usually stop by. However, I think I catch somebody on proximity chat here and bail and say, forget this, it's not worth it. So that buy station that's there to my left in that stronghold, that he has marked there for me, down right below me, I'll usually swing by there. And what you're looking for is a self-revive if you don't have it, which I now do, and a durable gas mask, or even a regular gas mask if you need to compromise. So I would check there. If it doesn't have it, this buy station I'm heading to now is always my second stop. This one tends to be deserted, I think because there's not a lot of structures nearby, it's just a bunch of tents. No one wants to hang out here long. Sometimes people drop here for the loot, but it tends to be empty. So I eyeball it as I land. The railroad tracks are a good landing point. It's nice and flat for the helicopter. I make sure it's clear. I might even kind of pan around here to really make sure, which I do. And then I hop out and I go to the buy station. My hope at this point is just to get a durable gas mask, which thankfully this station has. That's pretty lucky. I gotta say, this is a lucky run. But even a regular gas mask will do. You're bound to at least find one of them. You can loot those tents. They tend to have great stuff, grenade launchers, gas masks, stuff like that. But I'm feeling pretty kitted at this point. I have basically everything I need. And now's a good time to go over what those things are. So you want 2 stims, a durable gas mask, 5 gas cans, and a self-revive to have the perfect setup. Is all that necessary? Absolutely not. The gas cans, again, bare minimum 3. I think 3 is tight. I don't recommend it. 4 is good. But the gas mask, I would say, is needed, at least a regular, but hopefully a durable. And then the self-revive and stims are just extra. And the reason being is what we're going to do here is we're riding the helicopter till the very end, until the gas covers the whole map, and you're just going to live in this chopper, and you never have to fire a shot. You're going to gas out the other people, they're going to suffocate, they'll lose, you win, just because you have all of this survival gear. And you'll see how that plays out here at the end. I'm coming over here, this is another gas station I like. I'm really done with my route at this point. But I like this gas station. It's out of the way, tends to be deserted, and there's no buildings right up on it that people tend to be camping on, so I'm pretty safe here. So see, I am getting shot. I'm glad I am, because it kind of shows you guys this thing is nearly invincible from regular bullets. People will shoot at you. Don't panic. You're going to survive. Let them take their shots at you. It's just not a big deal. What I'm doing here when I'm landing is I'm actually going to cover that AC box, or whatever the heck that box is. I'm making sure the ramp does cover it now, as opposed to before. Because I'm not going to get off here. I'm just going to sit and repair the chopper, refuel. They just threw a mortar strike at me, and so I dodged that. I wasn't too worried because I didn't get the alert, but I got out of the way just in case. So I'll land back down, I'll cover that ramp again, and then hop out of the chopper just to let it refuel, and repair. But this is the key. This is what you're going to do. Maybe you'll come to this station and it's going to be hot. Maybe this isn't the place to go for you. So fly to another one. You should have, with the gas cans, you have plenty of time to refuel. If you do need to refuel, you just hit, I'm on console, I hit down on the D-pad, and then the square button on PlayStation over the gas can to refuel it. And that does it. Each gas can will fill you up half of the total capacity of the chopper there. So again, I'm still getting shot. I turned away so they can't shoot me in the cockpit, but again, unless they're a crack shot with a sniper, it's just not much of a worry. So I'll land to cover that ramp, and the point of that is this way I can now camp in the chopper, refuel, repair, and wait out the time as long as I can, and nobody can get in. They can't climb up there. That's the only way into the helicopter, and you'll see an example of that here in a little bit. That breaks my heart a little bit, but while I'm doing that, I'm going to pop open the map here, I believe, and show you just some other stuff just to keep in mind while you're doing that initial run to get set up. So yeah, that's where I'm parked now. There's this buy station I would have gone to, I mentioned earlier. That's the gas can station. And I said just south was a buy station. That's that one that we skipped, and that's the one that we did end up going to. Some other points of interest. These are some other buy stations that are valid if that one doesn't have your gas mask. The cemetery is a good one. You can land there, big open field, so it's easy to land. Let me open that back up. Another good one is here. You can park on this intersection right here and get that buy station behind it. There's another decent one here by this radio tower. You can just park in the field right there. So there's plenty of stations if you can't get lucky and get a gas mask, which does happen. I've stopped at 3 or 4 and just can't seem to get them. There's another heavy chopper at the airport, and the third spawn is right here, already in the gas, way out there in the west. And then obviously the one we picked up was right here, just so you know where the 3 heavy choppers are in case you don't like the one in the city. But no sweat either way. One more point of interest is way out here. There's 2 gas stations. There's a guaranteed 2 spawn gas can there. You'll get 2 gas cans for sure there. And it's out in the middle of nowhere. No one ever fights you out there, so it's nice and safe. So if you can't get gas cans at your normal stations, that's a nice safe fallback before it falls to the gas. So anyway, with all that in mind, I'm just camping here. I'm waiting out time. This is what you want to do. You can gas station hop. You can fly around and just keep tapping gas stations. You don't even have to get out of the chopper like this if you don't want. In fact, sometimes I'd recommend you don't. And the reason being is the one thing that is going to ruin your run is a precision airstrike or potentially a mortar strike. I wouldn't worry too much about mortar strikes, but the precision airstrikes are brutal. If you don't respond to them quickly, they'll take you out, and you'll see plenty of examples of that later on as well. But first I'll mention that this is this is my partner that I revived, and frankly I am trying to play without, and he's trying to get on the helicopter right now. And as you can see, he cannot, and you will see him continue to struggle. So it goes to show you, no one's getting into this thing unless they parachute from above after the gulag, which can happen, but if that does, you'll hear the enemy incoming audio note. Just hop in the pilot seat, and you'll usually cut them up with the blades. Don't have to worry about it. If anything, just hit R2, fly up in the air, and you'll definitely kill them. No one should be getting into this thing. But again, it'll take small fire easily. People can shoot at you. Some people unload LMGs on you, really thinking they can take you down. Do not sweat it. This thing is not going down. It can take about 4 rocket hits. It does have flares, so it can even dodge a rocket hit. This thing's tough, man. If it does start taking a couple hits, just get out of there. Go find another gas station. Repair there. It repairs fast. You are safe in this thing. But those airstrikes will get you. When you see those warnings, what you want to do is just hold forward on that stick and hit R2. As long as you're flying up in the air and holding forward, you're moving forward as fast as this thing will allow. If you responded quick enough, you will dodge it, depending on the angle they're sending the airstrike towards you from. If they're in front of you and they send it towards you, well, you're holding forward, you're going to go into it, they're going to get you. So you got to pray that they were to your sides or even kind of at an angle behind you or in front of you. But you should be able to dodge it. You'll see me dodge a few here near the end as people get grumpy with the strategy. So again, one more time, I know I'm repeating myself here, but I'm just waiting at this gas station. It is dull. This is where I intended to start fast forwarding, and I haven't yet because I'm yammering on to you. But I'm going to wait here as long as the game lets me. I have no intention of leaving because I am here to win, not to have gunfights. Because, as we established earlier, we are bad at that, or at least I am. Again, I'll keep calling this the no shooting strategy. I do make an attempt at shooting later on just because I'm bored, and you'll see how terrible I am at that. Um, but yeah, so just keep gas station hopping. I wish I did a little bit more of that here so you could see how that looked. But you'll see a little bit here. But you can go to any gas station, you can go to any marina. You just gently hover down until you see that refueling sign. You usually don't want to hop out like I am now unless you're fully landed. You'll know you're fully landed if when you get out, the rotors stop turning. If they don't stop turning, it means you're hovering, which is fine. You can do that. It doesn't need a pilot, but if you're hovering, it tends to kind of have a mind of its own and it'll jostle around. It might bump into walls and take damage. Don't feel safe jumping out. It will fly away from you and you cannot get back in. It can be kind of a bear, so make sure it's turned off. And a good way to ensure that is make sure you're on a flat surface. Hold L2 to land. Again, assuming you're on PlayStation, just keep holding L2 as you're landing. Once you see that it's settled and flat, keep holding L2, then hold square to exit the seat, and it should turn off. If it doesn't turn off, then hop back in the seat and hold L2 again. Uh, it is a bear to fly this thing. That's one thing I should mention from the start. It's going to take a little while if you haven't flown it before to get used to it, but you will. Just give it some practice. Landing takes a gentle touch. It doesn't really get up and go very quick, but again, none of that matters because this is just your giant tent in the sky to camp in. So I might kind of stop doing commentary here just for a little bit. The gas is coming, so I am going to hop in the pilot seat and start flying away. And you'll start seeing as the end game approaches here what this is going to look like as I gas station hop around. But yeah, I'll stop talking for now and chime back in if there's something more notable. And I'll definitely chime in at the end where things get a little intense. You'll see what that is going to look like. Just stopping here real quick to say I'm not sure exactly what hits me here. I think somebody attaches a thermite to the front of the helicopter, and that's what you see me take quite a bit of damage from. Again, that is a lot of damage for this helicopter, and as you can see, it's still only, what, maybe in like an eighth of the health. So those thermites can do a little bit of damage to you, but I stick around to kind of top up the repairs a little bit and shoot. Or take off once I start getting shot. But yeah, those thermites, that's a good hefty amount of damage, but no one's ever going to have more than a handful of those. Rockets will do about that much damage to you as well. So again, you can absolutely tank a few of those. Don't stress taking damage at all. You don't have to fly away every time you're shot. You can kind of be brave. Just know people are going to be shooting you. Let them waste their ammo. They're going to come to realize pretty quickly that you're not going down, and it's just not a threat. So I just moved to, or they're not a threat rather. So I moved to another gas station. I'm going to touch down here and get a little more gas. Actually, what I'm more concerned about at this point is topping up on the health. I just want to make sure I'm full health for the end, just in case somebody has been storing up some rockets or has munition boxes or something like that. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. And I believe shortly after this is where people are going to start getting antsy about me and doing airstrikes. So I will kind of make some more commentary as that happens here. Alright, and so one thing to mention as well is once it says the gulag has closed, which it's about to, I assume I am safe to stay in the air. You can probably do it earlier than that, especially with 5 cans, but I no longer need to stay at gas cans. You can float the rest of the game. Those 5 cans will keep you afloat. If you have less, 4 or definitely 3, you're going to want to keep staying at a gas station for a little while longer, but I feel pretty safe. So I get out of there, especially since I'm being shot, and I now plan to stay in the air the rest of the match. So what I'm doing is going to the outer edge of the circle, trying to just not draw attention, let people fight, let people kill themselves. That is the name of the game here. But unfortunately, I'm not too successful of that in this one, or with that in this one. And shortly, somebody will see me here, if I recall, and they should be calling in those airstrikes I mentioned. I shouldn't have got out there, but there's the precision airstrike. I get back in the cockpit, and I'm holding forward and mashing R2, terrified that that's the end of the run, but it's not. It goes behind me and we are clear. That's part of why I stay at the edge of the circle and I point myself not into the circle but side to side, because that way I assume if somebody's calling an airstrike on me, they are then to my side and it'll be an easier dodge. So now I'm lowering myself back down to give myself a higher ceiling to escape again if I need, and I'm settling back in. They're gonna, I think the same squad calls in a mortar strike on me shortly here, which you have plenty more time to respond to those. And they're easier to dodge, so I'm not too stressed about that. I don't know why I keep getting out. I'm braver than I should be. But you'll see that mortar strike here shortly. As that circle closes, there it is, cluster strike. So I get out of there too. Usually you can see them on the map, the little missiles. I don't know why you can't here, but you see them landing there. So I just get out of there, and I believe there is one more airstrike in it for me here near the end. And I'm able to dodge that as well, again just by holding forward and lifting the chopper with R2 or whatever button that is on your platform of choice. So I am just kind of getting out of dodge of that squad if I can, only for the gas to tell me I have to sort of head back that direction here, but that's fine. So I'm going to head over there. I'm going to use my first gas can here, again by pressing down on the D-pad to open the backpack and then square. And I don't know if you caught that, but that did fill me up half of a tank. So I now have 4 cans left, basically 2 full tanks beyond the tank I have there for a total of 3. I am good in the air for this match. Gas is no longer an issue. As long as we're not shot down, we win. And again, I know that because I have a durable gas mask, a self-revive, and stims. You really can't out-survive me at this point unless they were to have additional stims, I suppose. You know, teammates can help them out with stims. It would be a miracle for somebody to have more stuff than we do at this point set to survive. And you'll see as this ends, I make some really poor decisions and I ruin my gas mask before the circle has completely closed. And I'm still going to be able to pull this off just with the amount of survival stuff we have. So it shows you can make mistakes and still win. So I'll let it close a little bit more here and we'll talk a little bit more later. I think you guys are getting the gist of this, but we will see how this plays out.
Gas takedown. Safe zone relocated. 10 are left. Keep the pressure on.
So there are those incredible shooting skills I'm so proud of. Again, I don't even know why I'm doing this. You don't have to do this. Let them fight. See, and there's a precision airstrike that really could have killed me if I wasn't in the cockpit or right next to it. So I don't know why I'm chancing it. Again, I guess I just got bored with it. Near the end, when there's just 1, maybe 2 squads left, feel free to go for it. Sometimes if you're not confident, if you didn't get a durable mask or didn't get a self-revive, maybe you want to fight. It's better to kill them before the circle closes. You kind of have the advantage up in the helicopter. You can pull back, plate up if you need to, all that jazz. So fighting is definitely an option depending on what kind of loadout you get. Most likely you're a better shot than I am, and you probably have a chance. Again, I am really awful at this game, and that's why I am doing this strategy. It works great. I find this guy here, got a kick out of that, so I figured I'd pop a shot. And now as soon as he's moving, that's it. I'm done. I'm not hitting another shot on a moving target. No way. So anyway, I'm feeling pretty safe. Surely there's no more airstrikes at this point, I'm assuming. So I'm pretty good to shoot if I want. I think, yeah, there's still a couple people left. Shortly here you'll see it goes down to 2 squads and 2 people, which lets me know that it's just me and another guy. It doesn't take long for that to happen. And then that's where you really get to see the payoff to this really wonky strategy here. Oh, there was another airstrike like that, but it didn't give me the warning, so you should be pretty safe with those. I've had a couple runs, unfortunately, botched by an airstrike that didn't warn you, but it's pretty rare. These guys are cleaning up for me. So now it's just me and that guy. If you look at the scoreboard up there, I don't realize it just yet, but I shortly do. And so at this point, it's just moving with the circle. That's really key here, is make sure as the pilot, if you have friends, you just stay as the pilot seat. If you're by yourself, I'll fill up again there. I still have 2 tanks. We are good. Just make sure if you're shooting people, you don't get too greedy. Stick with the circle. Don't ruin your gas mask, like I actually will pretty soon here. But yeah, I'm trying to pick him off and kill him. But it can get really tough. As the circle gets small, it can be hard to see below the chopper. So to kind of give away a weak point to the strategy, being directly below the chopper can really screw you as far as killing them goes. But again, that shouldn't matter as long as you have all the survivability stuff. He's starting to get desperate. You see him shooting me there. Look how much damage he's done. They are not a threat to you. Do not ever stress small arms fire. It's just not going to be a problem. If he's not throwing rockets at you at this point, you are safe. I wouldn't get too low. Don't chance grenades. That can always be fun, you know, thermite, stuff like that. But again, you can tank a few of those as well. Let's see here. This should be where I ran. Yeah, there goes the gas because I wasn't paying attention. And now I'm dipping into my gas mask, which I should not do. That's where you'll potentially mess up and lose a match. So I'm losing a lot of it here. It took me a while to get in. Again, this thing is a pain to steer. So right now I'm kicking myself and wondering what I was thinking. And then I kind of do it again here. I hop out and throw thermites down at him for the heck of it. Again, none of this is necessary. You do not have to be as greedy as I am. Just stay in the chopper and watch that circle get smaller and smaller and smaller. Here I'm not centered very well. He still has some air down there. But by now the gas is basically shut, and we're just sitting in the gas. So I have no mask at this point. He, I believe, has a regular mask based on how long he lives. You'll see me stim here to stretch out my life as long as possible. Use my second stim, but I'll still go down, but I have that self-revive I can use to pop back up. I stretch that out as well. You don't start reviving right away. Let it drain a little bit, at least halfway. Don't let it go too far. You'll still die. But I win there. He dies, and that's the win. So that pops me up to that's my 48th win right there, without firing a shot, as I like to say. You'll see chat get pretty upset here. I think somebody says they had a 21 kill game, but that don't matter because we don't need kills to win. So people are pretty grumpy about it there. But we are going to keep doing this until it's not viable anymore for whatever reason. So there's all kinds of other little wrinkles to the strategy. I could talk about this all day, but I think you'll figure it out as you go. It's not hard to do. You don't need to be remotely good at this game to do it. Get out there, get some Warzone wins. Don't let all the sweaty streamers have all the fun. Good luck out there.